In this series, called 30-Minute Masterpieces, we explore artworks that can be completed within a 40-minute class period. Welcome to Painting with Janine Liza. In this video, I'm going to make just a basic paint pour medium. With an old container, this one happens to be an orange juice jug, I'm just pouring some glue in. I'm going to do a half and half mixture of glue and water. Now I see how much glue I have in the bottle. I'm going to add some water. Equal amounts is good enough. If you want to make it a little thinner, you can add a little extra water, or if you want your medium with the paint in it to turn out a little thicker, you could add more glue. Once the water's in, I'm going to want to make sure my lid is nice and tight, and then I'm going to give it a good shake. Just try and mix the two together nicely. Maybe it's just me worrying a bit, but whenever I use a juice jug or a container from some kind of consumable liquid, I always go crazy labeling it so that everyone knows that what is in it is not consumable. I told my son when he was little, if you see Mama put an X on a bottle, it means it's dangerous. So you don't use that item unless supervised with grown-up. Now I'm just grabbing some acrylic paint that's been sitting around for a while, and I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to pour some in here, and it might have some sort of streaky lumps in it, and it could have some dried paint on the lid. So all I'm going to do is just get some tissue and wipe away the bits that just won't work, and then squeeze as much out as I can and make use of what's good in the paint. Now I'm going to stir it with a popsicle stick, and while I'm stirring I might find some more streaks that need to be pulled out. That's okay. At least we're not wasting most of it. It's getting used up. When I'm done clearing out the streaks that don't need to be in there, or the little bits, I'm going to mix the two together. You can see the consistency on the popsicle stick of the paint. It's nice and thick. Now when I add the glue and water mixture to it in equal parts, it is going to thin it out, which makes it lovely for paint pouring. So when you thin out your acrylic paint with water, you essentially take away some of its adherence, so the glue's in it, and you weaken it. So this is why we add this mixture of glue and water to it, so that even though we're thinning it out, we're creating that adherence to all parts of the paint, so that it will still stick nicely to the canvas. Again, you can see on the popsicle stick that the paint is a nice consistency, so when you pour it, it's not going to be transparent, and that's what you want. Now I'm going to get a bit of yellow paint, just a little bit in the bottom of the cup, and a little bit of the glue, water mixture, and give that a stir also. And then I'll produce a little sample here of what can happen in the classroom or with your individual fun with painting. I just got a tray. This is a lid from one of those silver trays you get from the dollar store, and I placed it down because I tend to use the silver tray, but the lids don't get used for much, so that's kind of handy to have those. And I'm taking an egg box here and trying to create a base for which to put the mini paint pour canvas on. This is just a little wooden piece that you can get also in the dollar store. You get like a pack of 5 or 6. And so I'm pouring this down. By the way, I'm not affiliated with the dollar store in any way. I just like shopping there sometimes because you get some great deals. And now I'm just pouring, and you just have fun pouring the paint any way you want to. I'll probably do a few classes with some different techniques later on, but this is just giving you the basic idea. This tray is catching all the paint, and the egg box is keeping the canvas up off of the base of the tray. There you go. And you can see the thickness of the paint with 50-50 of the glue water and the acrylic paint. It's a really nice consistency. I even noticed that it forms a few cells up there in the corner. You can see some little circle cells forming, and that's pretty cool because there's no silicone in this mix. So I really like that I got that effect. I'm just going to squeeze a little tip in here. If you did want the paint to be more opaque, you can just add a little drop of white when you're mixing. I'm just going to add a little bit more, just playing with the texture on the surface a little bit and the shapes. I just want to see what I can do with it, and just having a little bit of fun. There we go. It's really nice to watch paint pouring. There we go. I think it's complete. Now I'm going to get myself a little bit of just a bit of cardboard or box with edges, and place it down. And I'm going to use the flat top of the egg box, which is actually probably a better idea because it's more stable and level. And I'm going to lift my painting, pop it on there, and now I can put it somewhere to dry. And then the tray can be washed and reused for the next one. You can pour the paint out back into the cups if you don't mind the colour changing slightly, and reuse that also. For more videos like this one, you can go to Art with Janine Liza on YouTube.